Hey everybody, this is Grits. This is a response to Vogter's video about restricting the ability to proselytize your religion to people. I'm not exactly sure how you would pull this off. I mean, it's easy enough to be specific and say that someone can't come to your door and try to witness to you or something, or try to convert you. But in these kind of legal things, there's always a slippery slope, okay? First of all, in the United States at least, your opinion would be kind of a minority opinion. And a minority opinion that would seek to repress the majority opinion in a country where free speech is pretty much the law of the land. The problem with anybody at any time trying to restrict speech at all is that all the restrictions that they want to place on that free speech is going to be based on their own biases. If you want to restrict proselytizing about religion, then if you want to be balanced, you would have to say, well, they can't talk about atheism either. Otherwise, you're specifically targeting a certain set of beliefs. And in the case of the United States, the majority belief. You can do this with the education system because this is a government institution, and you can basically use the Constitution to say, well, you can't promote a specific religion in a school. It's a public school. It's funded publicly by people with all kinds of different beliefs, including atheism. But when you're getting into just public speaking, just someone walking up to you and giving their opinion, you're basically taking your own arbitrary beliefs and trying to apply it to everyone else. And the danger in this is that everyone is wrong sometimes. I mean, I believe that you're right about atheism. I believe there's no God. But there you might have other beliefs as well. This is an example. If it's suddenly okay for the government to say that you can't express a certain opinion to people, then it's a pretty slippery slope to, well, let's see, maybe some political opinions are not correct either. Maybe it's not correct to be a Republican. Maybe it's not correct to argue for free markets. Maybe it's not correct to argue against free markets. Regardless of what you try to restrict, you're sooner or later going to run into a group of people in the government that have certain ideas about what should be expressed, and they're going to try to restrict those if they have that power. So it's really important that the government never has that power, that the people are always able to express their opinions. A lot of times these minority opinions that are actually very important maybe would never have gotten out if the government had restricted that in the first place. I have no idea what would have happened with the civil rights movement, for example, if the government had said that you just had no right to speak on these things. I know that's not what you were trying to say, but once you give the government that power, there's just nothing to stop them from whatever particular group is in power at the time from deciding what can or can't be said. And so it just doesn't work. It's essential to me, just for the sake of the exchange, the free exchange of ideas, that secularism stays in place. I think it's very important because this secularism allows all the ideas to be put forward, and whatever you end up deciding, even if you decide, you know, what I think was wrong as far as the Woods of Jordan, it's your choice. You have the autonomy. You can look at the evidence yourself and you can decide. You know, for me, in the United States, I've heard everything. I've heard people try to witness to me, and I've heard people express beliefs about Jehovah's Witnesses, Mormons, everything else. And hearing all of that, I have my beliefs, and my beliefs are all the stronger for that because I can defend them. I've heard all of this stuff before, and so I feel like now I can say, you know, there is no God, and it has meaning. It's not something that was forced upon me, or it's not something that was there because this other point of view was blocked. I decided this on my own. I came up with this belief, and that makes the belief stronger to me. It doesn't make it weaker. And it's always going to happen. You get people like Woods of Jordan who will kind of switch over like that, but you know, that's just the way it goes. That's what happens in a free society. You know, you get people that decide they're going to be Republicans. You get people that decide that they want to be anti-gay rights activists. It's going to happen. But to take away the right for people to exchange these ideas just completely undermines the whole intellectual discourse about everything. It's repressive and is ultimately destructive, I think. The other problem with this idea is, at least in the United States, most people in the United States are Christians. So if the government has some kind of power to stop people from witnessing, then yeah, you may stop the Mormons from witnessing, you may stop the Jehovah's Witnesses, you may stop Muslims, you may stop atheists, but you're not going to stop Christians because they're basically the ones in power. That's the majority, and they're not going to decide that their way of thinking is somehow destructive or predatory, as you were saying. I mean, these same laws that allow people to witness to people like Woods of Jordan are the laws that allow me to speak my mind. No one can tell me that I can't say there is no God. No one can tell me that I can't say I'm an atheist. Anyway, I guess that's about all I have to say about that.